I was out in the middle of the Caribbean, and the Lord gave me a vision, a picture in my mind, a movie. And it was waves of young people going from everywhere to everywhere by the millions.
I'm so far from home. Everything felt so quiet before. Maybe that's why I'm supposed to be here. I needed change. That's why I started this journey. Shares my hunger, for blind eyes to see, for the release of forgiveness, for closed hearts to open, real love, salvations. This is our passion. This is our adventure. This is outreach. just wanna stay right here with you. I'm not ready to rush off or to move. I just wanna stay right here with you. I'm not ready to rush off or to move. I just wanna stay right here with you. I'm not ready to rush off or to move. I just wanna stay right here with you. I'm not ready to rush off or to move. 'Cause nothing could be sweeter than this moment. I don't wanna miss a single second. Oh, I need you most. I need you most. I need you most. Oh, I need you most. I need you most. I need you most. Oh, I need you most. I need you most. 'Cause I don't need just what you have. I'm after who you are. 'Cause everything I really need is found within your heart. I don't need just what you have. I'm after who you are. 'Cause everything I really need is found within your heart. Within your heart. Within your within your I need you more than I even know. I need you more than I even know. I need you more than I even know. I need you more than I even know.
So, we've been in Norway for the past 4 days, getting to know some of the long-termers and what they see taking place here in the nation of Norway. And what if I told you that two countries in two very different geographical locations in the world actually have a lot more in common than one would expect? Take a look at these photos. This is a guy named Hans Nielsen Hauge, and these are the circuit riders. You see, 200 years ago in the 1800s, something took place in both of these nations, and it's happening once again. So the story begins here, in a small district in Norway called Østfold, in this little town, Rolvsøy. This is where Hans Nielsen Hauge was born and spent most of his childhood, until he had this super wild experience in a field where God met him in that place.
And wherever he went, the gospel just exploded. And then he was also very skilled in different like handcrafts, how to make salt. He could do other, like he had a business mind, so he helped people start businesses. So the economy started growing, and basically a revival broke out over big parts of the nations.
Now, what's fascinating is that at the exact same time, a very similar type of movement was being birthed in America. It's a movement that today has become known as the Circuit Riders. It started out of the Methodist Church, where preachers would ride on horseback all around the country. They've become well known for revival and their willingness to ride through any winter storm and overcome any trial to get to the next town in their circuit to speak. So after talking a bit more, we learned that this movement is happening again in both of these countries in the form of the Circuit Riders.
I have an encounter with the Lord where he sent a messenger and he said, I represent those that are about to ride through the night to declare a message of a revolution that will lead to revival and reformation. And then the messenger spoke again. He said, the Lord is about to release his circuit riders across America again. And all of a sudden, it's these wild-eyed revivalists, was the phrase. And they had fire in their eyes, and they're just consumed, and they're crisscrossing America into the nations of the earth.
Basically, Amy Ward had a similar encounter about Norway being a circuit rider nation. And this is what we're dreaming about. We're dreaming about a generation that are willing to say yes to Jesus' call, to share the gospel, to believe for the miracles, to believe that the high schools and the universities can be changed. And we're dreaming about a whole generation. Hundreds of people being trained, thousands of people being sent, and thousands of people being saved.
Which leads us to what is taking place today, in our time.
This last trip, I felt like God said, he wanted to have us find 20 people that would kind of be circuit riders to go around the nation and call young people to missions. Then their outreach team has 20 people on it, and they're basically doing the circuit rider word.
You see here, these are the modern day circuit riders.
Where are we going tonight?
Christian soon.
Yes, they may not look the same, but their vision and their goal remains. Riding circuits all around America and Norway where nothing stops them and nothing holds them back. They are simple and sacrificial men and women with a message, compelled by love and recognizing the power of the simple gospel to save, awaken, and catalyze a generation for Jesus.
Said she felt peace, and then she was just like, I surrender my life to Jesus. Like, it's so awesome.
And it doesn't end here. The revivals that started in the late 1700s began and ended in their respective countries. However, now in our time, 200 years later, it's spreading. The revivals are leaving the borders of their own countries into the nations of the world. What used to be national movements of God have now become global. So there's so much happening all around. In Norway, they've been circuit riding for the past 2.5 years. In America, even longer than that. And if you guys want to get involved, this summer there's a school called 21 Project happening both in Norway and in America. It's a 3-week program where you get trained and equipped to find out who you are, but also how to reach your high schools and the universities. And if you feel called to even longer than that, there's something called CR Experience, which I'll link down below. And there's also YWAM DTSs happening all around the world. So if you guys want to get even more involved, I'm going to link all those resources down below. And next week, we're going to go to the Arab Gulf to see how mission sparked in that region of the world and what is currently taking place. It's a fascinating story, so I hope you guys will tune in next Thursday for the next release.
하나님은 나의 존재를 사랑하신다.
날 포기하지 않는다. 신실하시다. After having a graduation, my mom told me there's a YWAM.
Through a girl who was in my school, she did her DTS last year and she posted about it on Instagram.
부모님이 YWAM 오셨어요. 제가 8살 때까지 이제 간사님으로 사역을 하셨어서.
저희 오빠가 대학교에서 YWAM 동아리를 해가지고 알게 됐어요. DTS를 다녀온 교회 사람들을 통해서 알게 되었습니다. 안전지대에서 벗어나면 인생이 바뀔 거라고 하나님이 저한테 그랬어요. 좀 쉬고 싶기도 하고 스위스도 가고 싶고.
I just thought it was a bunch of Christian teenagers traveling around the world, so I decided to apply.
지쳐 있었던 것으로부터 회복하고 싶었어요. 하나님 안에서 삶에 대한 목적을 찾고 싶었어요. people,
용서,
공동체, 한국 음식, 밥,
Adapting.
아우리치, 언어, people, 공동체, 아우리치, 친구들,
아울리치,
Growing.
숲, 찬양, 탄자니아,
이집,
브라질이요, 멕시코, 유럽이요,
Brazil.
이집, 메xico.
When we first get there were 3 chickens like walking around the stage and it was so hilarious.
제가 가르쳤던 학생분들이 이제 저를 위해서 목걸이를 선물해 줬던 기억이 납니다.
기도실이 없어서 동산 벤치에서 기도를 하는데 눈을 뜨면 앞에 토끼가 있고 또 눈 감았다 또 눈 뜨면 스탁이 있고 또 눈을 뜨면 양이 있고 동물들하고 같이 기도를 했었어요.
저희가 나라를 되게 여러 나라로 갔는데 그 나라에서 계속 부채춤만 엄청 많이 췄어요.
So for ministry, we went to a school to paint and clean the classrooms. But when we arrived, the teachers had prepared a big breakfast for us with the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
어린이 사역이라고 해가지고 막 율동이랑 이런 거 준비해가지고 딱 도착했는데 막 우락부락한 문신남들이 있었어요.
God is good.
나의 존재를 사랑하신다.
하나님은 날 포기하지 않는다.
Prayer.
제 오리지널 디자인이 꽃이라는 거예요. 주의 말씀은 내 발의 등이다. 하나님은 사랑이시고 선하시다는 거.
예수는 나에게 광야다.
선물이다. 체격줄이다. 안경이다. 강해물 달리기다.
The beginning of my life.
Sensational.
에스프레소 같은 것이다. 다시 할까요?
The feeling of being unwelcomed, unknown, and unwanted are ones so present in our lives today, especially when we don't belong. But there is a safe place, free from the past, where you can connect to the truth and be known by the truth. The invitation is yours. It has your name on it. In this community, you are accepted at the table, loved and cared for.
At the Table DTS is a 6-month school located at YWAM Brewster in South Africa. And we are an extension of Jesus' ministry at his table. And we believe that Jesus has extended his invitation to all, and it's an inclusive invitation for everybody to be there with him. And it's a place to be known and to know him. And we found that there's a lot of healing and wholeness to be found there.
At the Table DTS is for everyone, and this include people that feel outcasted, people that feel judged by others, people that are not always happy. We also include those that are happy, that feel whole, that feel complete with Jesus.
We want you because we believe that there's an invitation for everybody to come and join at the table of Jesus. You might not know that, you might not be aware of that, but we believe that, so we want to invite you to find a place of belonging, of knowing, to be loved and cared for. And so, yeah, join us at the table and belong and discover more about God, about community and yourself.
찬양하리라 영원히 높임을 받으신 그 이름 찬양하리라 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 온 땅이여 찬양하라 거룩하신 그 높이라 왕이신 하나님 왕이신 하나님 높임을 받으소서 찬양하리라 영원 높임을 받으신 그 이름 찬양하리라 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 기뻐하라 온 땅이여 찬양하라 거룩하신 그 높이라 왕이신 하나님 왕이신 하나님 높임을 받으소서 찬양하리라 영원 높임을 받으신 그 이름 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 모두 기뻐하라 온 땅이여 찬양하라 거룩하신 그 높이라 그리스도 진리로 다스리시네 오 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 모두 기뻐하라 온 땅이여 찬양하라 거룩하신 그 높이라 오 예수 그리스도만 왕이와 주의 진리로 다스리소서 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 모두 기뻐하라 온 땅이여 찬양하라 주는 그리스도 진리로 다스리네 모두 기뻐하라
Yeah.
Come on.
Is somebody wanting to share with us their experience? It doesn't have to be, I don't know what kind of experience, but if it's something, somebody that wants?
Any testimonies?
Emma.
Or stories?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Emma.
All right.
I like to be up front, so I have to find a way to get here. Yeah, so, is this recorded? Okay, we went in Tesco and there was some degustation of something there, and then there was two young people, a girl and a man, and then she gave me to taste and I said, wow, this is good. And then I said, well, you give me something to taste for my body, but I want to give you something to taste for your soul. So I pick up the Bible, English, and check. She was speaking in English, that was good. And then I start to tell her that, you know, the author of this book is with you when you read it. And she was like, oh, okay, nice. She was blown. Yeah, it's God. He wrote this book, and he can transform your soul, your life. And then I start to share more. And then I told there is a number here if you want to get more interested, and there are people that can help you and blah, blah, blah. So that is.
Come on.
Gabriela, so you can pray for her. Gabriela, it's her name. I said I will pray for her, but you can all pray for her.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I love hearing that, and I love the segue as well. The cool way to hand a Bible out when you're testing things at Tesco. Does anybody else have any testimonies or stories from handing out Bibles today that they'd like to share? We just want to give space for that. No more brave souls. Well, we had a really great time
Yes, we
this
did.
evening as Central Europe meeting. We met down at the Bridge Center, which is a facility that we have access to as YWAM Prague, with a lot of different organizations and ministries that operate here in the Czech Republic. There's people that work with homeless people, refugees, and just a really cool place and space to connect with a lot of different organizations and ministries. So we had a great time just meeting and hearing what's happening in Central Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice to see all the family here around and to see new people. So we were encouraged.
Yeah, so guys, tonight we just really want to invite you guys to come after a long day of just connecting and meeting with people, hearing a lot of different things, hopefully getting some nuggets that you can take back with you. But we really just want to invite you guys to enter into this time really of just celebration of what God's doing in our lives, in our locations, a celebration of who God is. So I just really want to encourage you guys to really engage tonight with God. Turn your hearts to him, cut off distractions. If there's things that you've been wrestling with or struggling with, or I don't know, whatever you're going through right now, I just really want to encourage you guys just to really engage in your spirits to just celebrate the Lord and choose his joy and choose his freedom. And so I'm just going to pray that out over us tonight. Yeah, Father, I just ask right now that your freedom would just come. We just open heaven right now, and we just say, Father, Holy Spirit, you're welcome in this place. We give you honor. We give you glory. We give you praise. We say that you're king and you're on the throne. And we get to celebrate that our king is good. We have the best king in the whole entire universe, the only king, and you're good. And so we just give you glory and honor and praise. And Father, we just want to come tonight just as family and just celebrate who you are. In Jesus' name, amen.
Before we go into worship this evening, who's thankful to be here and meet a family member from another country and hear the testimonies of what God's doing? A couple of us. That is great. Why don't we stand to our feet before we start? Psalms 100 says, let's enter his gates with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving changes our heart into a place of recognizing who God is. And so I want you to find somebody that you do not know, and I want you to tell them 3 things that you are thankful, grateful for this evening. All right? So think real hard if you need to think real hard. Let's engage our hearts with thanksgiving this evening. Thankful for you, Jesus. Happy day. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's sing that one more time. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. All right, I know that you know the song. If you grew up in church or Sunday school, you have to know this song. If you don't, I'm sorry. But let's declare, okay? This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice. Jesus, we're grateful for who you are. And we say that we love you. Father, our hearts declare that we love you, our hearts for you. Thank you that you inhabit the praises of your people, that you are here. Make us so more aware of your presence, Jesus. We can see that God, you're moving a mighty river through the nation. When young and old will turn to Jesus. Fling wide you heavenly gates. Prepare the way of the risen Lord. And open up the doors. Songs that dancers who dance upon injustice. Christ, the risen one. And did you feel the people tremble? Did you hear the singers roar? When the lost began to sing of Jesus Christ, the risen one. Can see that God, you're moving a mighty river through the nations. The young and old will turn to Jesus. Fling wide you heavenly gates. Prepare the way of the risen Lord. Open up the doors. Let the music play. Let the streets resound with singing. Songs that bring your hope. Songs that bring your joy. There's thirst to dance upon injustice. Darkness tremble when all the saints join in one song, and all the streams flow as one river to wash away our brokenness. Here we see that God, you're moving. A time of jubilee is coming. When young and old will turn to Jesus. Here we go. Fling wide you heavenly gates. Prepare the way of the risen Lord. Open up the doors. Let the music play. Let the streets resound with singing. Songs that bring your hope. Songs that bring your joy. Dancers who dance upon injustice. stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with golden thunder and leaves us breathless in all their wonder. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you take my place. That you bear my cross. You lay down your life. That I will be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. All that you've done. Who breaks the chaos? Who makes the chaos bend into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who ruled the nations with truth and justice, shine like the sun in all in brightness. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. Then you lay down your life. That I will be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. All that you done. Oh, we're grateful for all that you've done. Here we are, Jesus, we're grateful. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm loving your presence, Lord. Here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I just want you. Oh, I just want you. I just want you. I'm caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. Caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I just want you. I just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else but you. I just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else but you. Oh, we just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else will do. Oh, we just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. I just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. Of it all, and you are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, to you are all things. You deserve the glory. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to night and day. Day and night, night and day. Day and night, night and day. Day and night, night and day. 'Cause you are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. For from you are all. You are all. You deserve the glory. For from you are all. To you are all. You deserve the glory. For from you are all. To you are all things. You deserve the glory. Just like we started with Thanksgiving, why don't we raise our voices in thanksgiving to who Jesus is to us? Come on, let's raise our voices in gratitude. Oh, we thank you, Jesus. You are good. You are good. Lord, come on, let's lift up our praise. Let's lift up our praise this evening. Engage our spirits with the King of Kings. Oh, we love you, Jesus. Yes, we're grateful. Oh, we're grateful. Oh, we're grateful. Oh, you have it all. Oh, you have it all. Oh, you have it all. We love you, we love you.
Yeah, Lord, we just declare it's just all about you. It's not even about YWAM. It's just about you, Lord. Will you just refocus us on your Son? Refocus us on you. Because you're so worthy, Lord. We just declared that he's so worthy. He's worthy of it all. He's worthy of it all. And I feel like even just seeing some of the things throughout this week of listening of stories of people who have given all, who've given it all. And I just feel like the Lord just wanting us to lay down things that we haven't laid down. thank you for your leadership, and we thank you for the leaders that you've given us. And we just want to just honor you and honor those leaders that you've given us, Father. And so I just pray that out right now, that we just honor those. I just want to honor the leaders of this conference even, and just honor those who've just put so much work and effort into this. And I just thank you, Father, that we just get to be a part of this time and this time in history. And yeah, so we're just gonna transition into this time, and I just really want to honor you guys just for all that you've been doing, and just thank you so much as well. But we're gonna invite Carl up. He's gonna introduce what we're gonna engage with next in our session here. So Carl, please welcome Carl.
Okay, hello. Hey, just randomly, this is my friend Caleb. So Caleb, not only is Caleb quite a handsome young man who's getting married soon, I think we don't do proper introductions. We don't have the time to honor properly. But I just want to take the opportunity to say, I think this guy is amazing. And sometimes you think, oh, he's the guy that's the worship leader, and he plays guitar, and he has a nice hipster hat. But he's also part of the leadership team of Herrnhut. Did you know that? So he's part of this dynamic leadership team in Herrnhut, doing crazy things in Germany. And I want to encourage you to ask these guys questions. Don't just miss some of that and go, well, he's the worship leader. He's also involved in some extraordinary stuff in Germany, and he's a talented, really gifted man, godly man, and I really appreciate him. He's a good man. He's a good man, and an emerging leader in our mission internationally. I think someone that I love doing things with, and look forward to a really beautiful future with in YWAM International. So get to know him. He's cool. But also the rest of the band, Uli on the keyboard, he's leading with his wife in Brussels. Ian on the guitar at the back, he's leading Seamill in Scotland. Find out about these guys, ask them questions. All right? That's cool, eh? So tonight, the point of tonight, we're going to highlight some vision to you tonight. And the reason for that, it might sound like a whole series of sound bites of just stuff, and you're going to sit here and go, oh, information. The reason we're doing it is that it's when we gather together, some of the goals of a gathering like this, in my head, there's three really important things that we do in this space together. The first is actually corporately worship the Lord together and hear him corporately together. So there's a dimension that when we come together as leaders in this way, it's part of our YWAM culture that we want to meet with the Lord and allow him to speak to us. All right, so that's kind of a really big thing. Second is actually networking. We want to create a space for you to network and to chat, to meet new people, to connect, to learn new things about other people, to collaborate, to partner, to create new partnerships. So when we gather at a European level, it's hearing from the Lord and worshiping him corporately and interceding together. It's networking, but then also it's hearing about pan-European vision. It's hearing about the big picture visions that are important and a sense of God leading us as a mission in Europe at this time. And we feel it's important. Obviously, there's loads of vision everywhere in lots of ways, but there are some things that cross our borders and cross our nations and our regions that affect us, the Bible to all. And you know, this morning we heard about Love Europe. And so we want to give some space tonight for that reason. Is that okay? Does that make sense? So we're profiling it so that you can actually kind of take notice of that and soak that up a little bit and go away and contemplate and ask the Lord, what does this mean for us? How should we respond? How do we get on with this? Because there are some things that we think we unite over in terms of YWAM in Europe. Does that make sense? So that's what tonight is. So firstly, I'd like to just big up, another big up. YWAM TV is in the house. okay? And that kind of clapping, I feel like I'm at the ballet. It's that kind of, oh yes, that was very nice. We're really pleased that YWAM TV, so they're doing all our visuals and they're trying to really develop more of a global presence and ministry, and they want to link with YWAM bases throughout Europe and throughout the world. And we just thought, not only are we really just blessed that you guys have come and are serving us in this way and really upping our standards in terms of our digital visual representation on the web, but we really appreciate what you're doing, and we just thought it'd be really cool to give them a couple of minutes to just share about YWAM TV internationally and what that means for us and what that might mean for you and how they can connect with you. Okay, so this is Tim. Come on, man.
Hi, my name is Tim, and I am in Oslo, Norway. Yes, there's many Norwegians here, yes. But I'm originally from South Korea, and I had this vision of YWAM. I got this, I felt like God was telling me about YWAM TV when I was in Kona in 2014. And then somehow I just couldn't get out of that mind, you know, so it's been a long time. And then only last year we were able to start something and started to collect people and talk to right people and then do something to do something. So actually the vision of YWAM TV is very vague, and still every time when I pray about it, I get overwhelmed. Whenever we have a meeting about it, I get overwhelmed. Yes. But God is good. And actually, just now, we were just looking at who are watching, you know, this TV right now from live streaming. And then there are some of the people commenting from different nations: Sweden, Senegal, Scotland, India, Romania, Albania, Oregon, US, Illinois, US, Spain, Cameroon, Ohio, US, Bulgaria. Those are people who commented that greetings from these places. And when you look at it, over 2 billion users visit YouTube each month. And YouTube has launched local version in more than 100 nations. And you can navigate YouTube in a total of 80 different languages. When I learned about this, I saw an opportunity to reach out to more. And of course, we're not just doing live streaming, we're doing it more. So I came up with 5 different things that we could do as a YWAM TV. YWAM TV is a platform to create original content, but also it is a platform to train people to know how to do things. And also we curate, we spot different content from different words. There's a lot of YWAMers creating amazing things, reality shows, documentaries, vlog, a lot of many great things. So we spot them and then we ask them, can we use them and put into our monthly selection. And also we do mobilization, which is live streaming, and also we archiving different things. So it's just a beginning, you know, and you know, I talk about like YouTube, but also Facebook, Instagram, maybe Snapchat. We're also thinking about maybe doing TikTok. I don't know, yeah. But there's an amazing way to approach to so many different people these days. So we need you to be part of this, because I think it is not about us. We are just a platform to serve you and also to people and to God, and also to reach out to more people. So if you have great ideas, please let us know. We have seminars coming up tomorrow, so you can just, me and Paulo and then Martin is here, so you can just grab us. And also one thing, it is about teamwork, really. So I'm just a guy. I'm actually doing not much thing. It's Paulo who is behind the camera doing a lot of things from Harpenden. And also, yes, Harpenden is a great place. And also Marit from Worcester, South Africa. And also, she's from Finland, by the way. And Jeff Rogers from Kona. So we have four of us who are core team and then meeting every week online to develop this idea. Yeah. So please pray for us. And I think it is a really long-term thing. And also, we really need you. And also, again, it is a teamwork. It's great to be here. And also, one more announcement, sorry. There will be a live streaming and broadcasting seminar happening in Harpenden, May. Yeah, 2 weeks. So sign up anyone who's interested, tell them or so. Yes, thank you very much, and thanks, Carl.
The cool thing with that is that that's a resource that you can own for yourself. So that's not just a mystery over there. You can kind of talk about YWAM TV yourself as if it's yours. So in your nation, you can talk about how, YWAM TV is something that you do, that we do. And I think that kind of builds our, what we can do. So this morning, wasn't it great listening to Runar, my friend from Norway? I love this guy. I think he's such a brilliant communicator. Whenever he opens his mouth, I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to it. But he's a good friend, and I really, really appreciate him and value him. He wanted to bring this kind of prophetic word and launch this concept of Love Europe. And particularly, we're wanting to focus with that on Moldova. And our history, going right back through YWAM, is when we collaborate and work together, new initiatives are birthed in new nations. And we want to be able to kind of challenge all of us to kind of get behind some of these initiatives, to pray about how do we see a new kingdom-shaped initiatives birthed in a nation where there is nothing in terms of a YWAM presence. And so our dream is that we would see a number of YWAM teams get planted in Moldova in the next few years, that some of you might pick up that mantle or take that back to your base and champion and pray. But we want to see new stuff come. So Runar's going to come and just give us some sort of concrete connections as to what that might look like over the next few years. Big round of applause.
Thank you. I've been on a lot of teams. I guess you have too. A lot of them have been small teams. And sometimes when you have small teams, your impact is rather small. I remember I used to be the most famous worship leader on my team. I knew 3 chords on the guitar. It was really fun for me, but not so fun for the rest of the team. And this is what happens when we are small and alone. And sometimes we do ministry that really doesn't impact the world. I don't know if you ever done it, but I guess my worst team experience was when we went to Spain. I think we were 40 Norwegians. We wanted really to help Spain in the financial crisis. There were lots of people unemployed. It was terrible. I don't know if you remember back to those days. And we wanted to impact the society. We came, we sacrificed our vacation. We paid a lot of money. We went there. And you know what we ended up doing? Pulling the weeds in the church parking lot. And I'm not kidding. We changed the world. No, not really. God dealt with me a little bit, of course, and maybe some more of my team. But it didn't really change the world. And so we really need to change the world. And I told you about Moldova today. Did you know that in this room there are people who are setting up houses in 5 days? 15 of you. In 5 days you could fix the latest problem. Easily. Florine is... Where are you, Florine? He's not in this room. Sorry, I'm lying. But yes, you. So we can easily fix it. But the problem is that we can't do it alone. If we do it together, we can do something that's much stronger. So when I was praying, I was praying at some ACT meeting in February, and suddenly it just dawned on me, we got to do something together. And I decided I'm not just going to ask some teenager or some 25-year-old person to do this for me. It's a good idea. You go and run with it. I'm going to lean in with all my strength, and I'm going to call on all my friends. And so I've called on some of you guys, and I want us to join together, arm in arm, shoulder by shoulder, YWAM doing something together. If we do that, we have a lot of power. We can really break through. We can already there is a 18-wheeler truck booked with tons of clothes, 12 tons of clothing that will go to Ungen in Moldova, and we will use it to clothe the naked. That will make a real impact. We will feed the hungry. We'll build houses. We have 3 mobile dental chairs that will go out and serve the people who have so much pain in their teeth because they can't afford to bribe dentists to go to the dentist. We will make an effort. And when you come there, hundreds of people will stand there and listen to you as you share the gospel in the streets or in the park because they are hungry for the gospel. I've shared it with some and they received immediately. And the best thing, you know what the side effect is going to be? Our DTSs will grow. Because God has given us 3 legs to stand on. Training, mercy ministry, and evangelism. And Lauren keeps saying that training is the multiplicator. But if you don't have anything to multiply, then it just becomes 0. So we really need to raise up and reach the lost and help the needy. And we can all do that together in Moldova. It's going to be August 1st to 9, and you can register or really, let me tell you the secret. We don't want you. We do want your friends to come. So you should bring your friends, your church friends and everyone else who have not done a DTS yet, who needs to get engaged with YWAM. Bring them, because this will be a life-changing time. And when they leave from this place, they will not say, oh, I had fun with my friends and all of that, but they will think, I've moved the world. I've changed the world. Lives are different. Heaven is populated because of what has happened. And they will say, it's worth every euro I spent on it, every minute of my vacation I spent on it. So you can register online, but bring your friends. That's the most important thing, your church friends. And you can also talk to me. But you find this on loveeurope.no. I know it's not so good to say. So I rather would say Love Europe, yes. So I had to buy some other domains, so I bought loveeurope.uk, and I bought loveeurope.nl, and I also bought loveeurope.org, so we can organize, all right? So you're so welcome to do that, all of you. What if we would all together do something to impact one nation? That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Runar. If you've never been to Moldova, it's a great place, has great, great people, very friendly people. So if you've never been there, you have a chance to go. So now I want to invite Mark Venning, and he will present us ELLC. So, he's coming. Yeah.
We have Lilia. She's from Republic of Moldova. And I think we should pray for her right now. What do you say? Okay? Lilia, please stand up. Okay. Yeah. We start now to plant a seed. And then we'll see what God will do.
Okay. Lord, we just pray life and abundance in Moldova. And we proclaim that Moldova will be changed. It's going to be a change in this nation. You're not going to be poor, but you're going to reach in God, and everything will fall into place. So we believe this year, this is a very special season, Lilia, for you and your nation, where God will bring his presence to your nation and change that lost. But people have no agenda except loving you and your fellowship citizens. So we bless Moldova, we bless Lilia in her walk with you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. We just bless you. I really pray there will be not only one base there, but will be 5 bases. We believe you for 5 strong, vibrant bases in Moldova. Father, we pray. And all the people said?
Amen. Thank you.
One of the
joys of coming to an event like this, of course, is the networking that occurs between the generations as much as between the areas and languages and different ministries and so on. And in Western Europe, we were blessed in the old Welt with having Steve Mayers leading us, and of course he is the champion of leadership development amongst many other things. And now that we have increased into these 6 acts in Europe, he has had a strong and growing conviction that we should really take advantage of the wealth of experience of leadership learning and leadership development that God has invested into YWAM in Europe over the last decades, really. And so basing it really on a model that has been pioneered over in Asia, what we want to do in Europe is to launch an ELLC, or the European Leaders Learning Community. And some of you will have already received an invitation to fill in this form. I think we've had 62 people so far who have been willing to say, yeah, I would be willing to show some leadership development through being a coach, being a mentor, offering some one-to-one, maybe doing a webinar, perhaps doing a small group training for leaders who want to ask questions. No, I'll be willing to come and teach on DTSs. Just people don't know what the subjects are that I teach and so on. Maybe you've got books or articles or an online presence. Maybe you've got something else that will allow leadership development to continue to be passed down the generations. And so what we want to do is we want to release a website that will aggregate all this information. So if you are somebody, a young leader, or you know somebody on your base that's saying, I would really like to ask some questions of somebody who has pioneered or has led a ministry or has been involved in leading out in some way, we can say, why don't you go to the website and take a little look. Maybe there's a webinar coming up or an archived video. Perhaps there's a question and answer session that's going to be hosted and you can zoom in and find out what's going on. Maybe there's an event happening, 2 weeks here or 3 weeks there or a week there or 2 days there, B2B and all the rest of it. All of this will be aggregated on our europellc.eu website. Now, it's not live at the minute. If you go to europellc.eu, you'll see a hi, welcome to a holding page. But we are pulling together contributors at the moment, people who be willing to say, I will help occasionally, I will help a bit more regularly, yeah, you can lean on me for this. And if you have not yet had that form emailed to you, then either see Rosen, wave your arm, stand up. This is a wonderful young man over here. He's the backbone of the administration, so make sure you see Rosen. Or you can go to our short code, which we will give you. It might even come up on the screen a little bit, I don't know. But make sure you fill in that contributor form. We want more than 100 people, really, leaders that are prepared to be able to contribute something into this. And the hope is that what we will have is an environment where the lessons that God is teaching us are preserved in a way that they then don't get lost. We're not afraid, of course, of the Lord doing new things amongst us and refreshing us. We're not just going to rehash everything we've done the same way and so on. But neither do we want to lose the lessons. We don't have to reinvent the wheel if we do not need to. And we hope that when this website gets launched, most likely during the summer of this year, that we will be able to offer any kind of resource to leaders, young leaders, leaders in the making, whether they want online, whether they want face-to-face, whether they want to join in with other young leaders for a session, whether they want some kind of, here we go. So make a note of this. Okay, make a note of this. You do have to capitalize those letters. So don't use little ELLC. It must be capitalized or goodness knows where you'll end up. Okay? So please make sure that you take that down exactly. It's case sensitive. And you'll be taken through a 3 or 4 step questionnaire. It's self-explanatory. We want this in as many languages as possible. So if you think, I don't speak English, please, that is no handicap. I guarantee it. Okay? So you will be taken through and we will be able to categorize and resource all of the things that you will be prepared to offer. We will then segment that and then present it in a kind of eye-catching way on a website so that anybody can go to it and pull from that the resource that they need. Or, even better, you will look at it and say, okay, this young leader, she needs some help here. I'm going to direct her to this website and particularly this particular area here and so on. When the time comes for us to launch, you will all get a chance to see the website Our door is wide open to the areas that need more to them. If you think there's something missing or you think there's something that should be changed or added, no problem at all. There is a group that Steve is coordinating. There's a number of us here. So we've got someone over here. And there's a lot of us here, actually. Yeah, I can see Tove over there waving. So please, don't worry if you don't necessarily see something happening for the next few weeks or months. It is happening behind the scenes, and we hope to launch it in August. Steve is away at the moment in Australia. He's actually messaged, and he sends his love and his regards, and he wishes he was here, but only this much because he's with his family, so we've got to understand that. Is that clear that we've got this coming, this leadership resource? If this is news to you, if you really haven't heard anything about it, or if you want to know more, tomorrow we have 2 breakout sessions in the afternoon, I think 4 o'clock and 4:45. So if you want to come along to one of those, ask some questions, get a bit more information, that is the opportunity. Most of us are going to be either one or both, and you will then have a chance to ask more. We're going to hear a bit more from Steve Ashworth, who has been connecting with the Asian Leaders Learning Community, and he can tell us some stories of how this has really benefited and really impacted the Asian community, and we really don't want to be left behind. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Blessings.
All right, thank you so much, Mark. I just love in Europe how we're just so connected, and I just love you guys wanting to really connect us even more. It's just incredible. Thank you so much. I'm going to invite Dick down to tell us a little bit about the LTS. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my fan base. Yes, in August this year, our new Europe LTS will kick off again. 2 years ago, we had a first cycle, kind of a pilot LTS in a new format. Remember, most of our UofN schools are like 12 weeks. But the thing is, also for a leadership training school, if you have to pull out of your work for 3 months, that's a big deal. You need to find replacement and whatnot. And this is a program you can continue to do your leadership function and yet at the same time do an LTS. So the idea is that we gather about 80 students, and there will be for sure some of you, because I know some of you have already been accepted as students. And there's a bunch of us here who will be staffing this school. But we will be starting in August with about 80 students and about 30, 35 staff. So it's going to be a good size group. And we'll have basically 5 modules. Each module is 1 week. We'll have one in Huelach. The second one will be in Norway, Shen. Then we'll come to Heidebeek, our base in the Netherlands. We go to Ljubljana, where is Andrea. We will help her just to give a bit of encouragement and get a ministry going. This is Slovenia. And we'll finish off at the Kiev base in Ukraine. Well, there are some very key goals for this LTS for us. Of course, we want to grow healthy leadership. That's a very general goal. But we want to impart skills, teach different skills, small and big skills you will be developing, like your personal mission statement and a project. So there's a lot of that happening. There's mentoring and coaching. One of the official goals is also to establish long-lasting relationships amongst leaders in Europe. And we've seen this as a wonderful, wonderful thing, an outcome from our first LTS. Who were students in the first LTS? There's a bunch of us here. Sometimes entire leadership teams have joined us. And that has been incredibly helpful to see the quality of their work together and a new courage and a sense of empowerment. We've seen some really beautiful fruit from this LTS. And I remember Jeff, you also, when you came to teach in Krakow, that one module, Jeff also said, he says, I sense a vibe that he recognized from way back in Italy when these guys were preparing the Anastasis for her maiden voyage. And there was a time of spending weeks and months together at this campground and working. And he says the quality of relationship that got established there has been benefiting YWAM Europe for decades. And he says, I sense the same thing is happening in the LTS. And that's really cool. I just was very encouraged, of course. So, but anyways, some of you have already applied. If you are part of a leadership team of a base, or you are a base leader yourself, or you are leading a pioneering team, these are all wonderful qualifications to get some more training with us. The school is, of course, it's going to cost you some money. We have about 10 scholarships for those, especially probably from East and Central Europe, who need some extra help. But I think it's all very doable and affordable. All the staff is pouring in many hours and a lot of money as well to make this all possible. So, anything you want to know? Just one or two questions about the LTS. Wow. Yes. Okay. Yes, what about families? If you want to join as a couple and you have kids. Well, that is possible. Also in the first LTS we had families join. Of course, logistically that is more of a challenge for us and also for the families. I'm not sure if you can commit to like babysitting for all these modules. We for sure, and this is also what we've communicated on our website, we know that some of the bases where we will be hosted are better equipped for families. For example, Hurlach is a great place. It's still in the holiday season, even for a student who is married and has kids, to bring their families, even if one of the two of the couple is maybe a student. Yeah, the others can join for that module. And Heidebeek is also a good family-friendly location. I think it will be more challenging in Ljubljana, where we have to rent everything because there's no YWAM facility. So it is possible, and we would love to have couples, and if you have kids and they need to come, or you bring your own nanny, you just have to see that we don't get like too big of a group, because logistically that will be hard. But yeah, if you want to really come as a family, you're very welcome to do that. I'm waiting for your wife's application form. Yes, I just got that. We just found that out, but Slovenia is not even on the map here, so it's an old map. But guys, it's just the idea that it is kind of in the different areas of our country. There's another mistake there, and then I give the microphone back, because the dates for the Xi'an base are 12 through 20 instead of 13 through 12 through 19 instead of 13 through 20. Doesn't matter. Okay. So you can come and talk to me. Any other staff in the building here who will be staffing the LTS? Here there's some guys there in the back. So there's at least like 6, 7, 8. Come and talk to us, please. Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. So now I want to invite Johnny to speak about Waking Europe.
Thank you. A few days ago, I stood here and I had a little word for my daughter and for some people in nations, and tears escaped my eye, and I had to promise that I wouldn't cry tonight. So I'll keep it very dry, and I'll just read off my my notes here. So, you got issues there? That's good. Good. All right. So, I love when we get together here. Like, I always try to go to these, to the Welks and to this time the Elk and all that kind of Elks and Smelks and Dales. And I love it all. I love it all, because besides the name, it's where we got together, where we get inspired. It's where we worship together, where we hear God. I love that. And not only for that time in itself, but also love for what comes out of it, collaboration and uniting. And it's a little bit of interesting timing, because Runar already did his whole thing about particular dates that he wants people to come and go to Moldova. So I would say yes, definitely go to Moldova, or as he said, send your friends, and maybe you guys can come to us. So yeah, I love to collaborate, and And that is because together we are way more than our individual parts. Most of us, I think, know what Awakening Europe is. Can I see by show of hands, have you heard of Awakening Europe? Yeah, that's a lot of people. For those who don't know, it's a stadium event that's been in, I have to check my notes for this, Nuremberg, Stockholm, Prague, Riga, Vienna last year. Basically 4 days of big campaign going out on the streets during the day, which is called the Flood, where you evangelize and then you bring back people into the stadium where there's preaching and there's worship and people are invited to give their lives to the Lord. There's healings and there's salvations and there's joys. There's joy in heaven like never before. So it's an amazing event. And I was just talking also before with Harald how 200 people, 200 YWAMers came to Vienna also to help streamline it and to help do outreaches in Vienna. We would love a similar thing in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, where this year Awakening Europe is. I'm going to tell you a little bit more, but could I see the little clip that should be ready? I think there should be sound.
For hundreds of years, missionaries took the gospel from Europe to the ends of the earth. Men and women gave everything so that villages, cities, and even whole nations would turn to God. Last year we saw a clear vision that God would call back to Europe people from all over the earth who had European heritage. They weren't just coming for an event though, they were coming on a mission. The mission to bring back the good news to the very nations it was sent from. Join us in the summer of 2020 for a week that will change thousands of lives and your life.
Come back to Europe.
Komm zurück nach Europa.
Revenez en Europe.
I'm coming back.
Come back to Europe.
Coming back to Europe.
All right. So from July 30 to August 2, thousands of people have already registered to come to Rotterdam, or you probably would say Rotterdam, to do this together. Because it's Rotterdam, because it's something that we do together. And I really believe that YWAM has a big part of it. Not because we do things better than other people, because this is what we're all about. We love this kind of stuff. We love the short mission trips. We love this big impact. We love to get together with the church and support the church. Because it's not about us. It's not about our name. It's not even about the speakers that come. And there's usually amazing speakers. There's amazing worship. But what really makes this a special event is that there's a move of the Holy Spirit that some of us have never seen in our lives. So powerful and so overwhelming. And we really anticipate amazing things to happen. Not only during this time, but also the whole year. We really believe in Amsterdam. We've been praying that 2020 is going to be a year of breakthrough, not only for us, but for all of Europe. And as you can see, there's also a second part, which is the callback. There's different nations, I think including this one, where outreaches are going afterwards, after the main event. Amsterdam is one of those nations. So we are one of those, Amsterdam is one of those cities. But you know, so many people in that city, like it's almost like a nation itself, so special, such a great people. Anyway, how many people know what the amount of full-time staffers is of YWAM Rotterdam? How many is it? One! It is one person. So we felt as YWAM Netherlands, and especially also in Amsterdam, that let's help her. Her name is Korma, and initially this event was going to be in Amsterdam. We thought, oh, it's going to be amazing, and we can work together with the church. But then at a certain point we heard it was in Rotterdam, and then we're like, okay, let's support Korma. Let's support what YWAM can do there, because we believe this could also be a major impulse to what God is doing through YWAM there. So as YWAM Amsterdam, we decided to see, okay, how can we make it as easy as possible for our people, for our network, which is YWAMers, especially in Europe, all around the world, to come to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam go to Rotterdam. So we, in our building, we're making 100 beds available for people to sleep in. And And we made a package from July 26th to August 8th, basically 2 weeks of outreach, first in Rotterdam, then in Amsterdam. And it includes accommodation, food, bedding, travel to Rotterdam. We're renting big buses for you, and also a 3-day travel ticket for the outreach in Amsterdam. Basically, it's an all-in package because we want to make it as easy as possible for YWAMers to come and do this together. Because we can do this alone. We could go there by ourselves, but we don't want to. We feel like this is a time for us to come together. But, of course, there's Moldova. There's other things. I don't know if there's other summer of services happening this summer. So what I would like you to do is just to pray. Pray about it. Who is willing to pray what he or she should do this summer? I think we can have a little bit more hands. Who is willing to pray about what he or she should do this summer? Yes, good. That's good. That's good. It's also a little bit of a discipling process, this. Because you should always pray how to use the biggest gifts that God has given you, which is time. All right? So, if you then feel, hey, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, that is a good thing for me this summer, you can go through the QR code, you will go to a Google form that has information about prices and different things. Even if you can only be there for the Amsterdam part or only for the first part, still let's be in touch and see what's possible. And if you have questions, you can also email to awakening2020@ywam.nl. That's it. Hello, Carl. That's all right. Yeah. We should always pay attention to things on a bigger level. Is this a trick question, Carl? This is a test, right? So this event basically, it starts off, it's phases. First phase is in Rotterdam. I cannot say this in English in normal. It is in Rotterdam. And then phase 2, it's to all these, Freek is explaining it already there from the back. But it's, Freek, by the way, one of our national leaders is in the core team of Awakening Europe and Netherlands. Can you wave, Freek? That's Freek. So, yeah, good guy. In phase 2, all these outreaches are going simultaneously to the 20 nations. Yeah? So maybe you will be part of outreach to other nations. It's all good for me. I don't care where people get saved. If they get saved here or in Germany or in Sweden or in Moldova, let's get them all saved. Okay? That is the idea. Does that answer your question or no? For that question, I would like you to refer you to Freek, which I think you just did. It is. That's the idea. Good. So as you can see, there's one particular specialism, the Amsterdam and this year part for me. And Freek has a lot more of the bigger picture because I've not been part of those kind of meetings, but he has. Other questions that I can answer? No? No? Good.
All right, thank you, Johnny. I had the privilege to be part of Awakening Europe here in Prague, and it was amazing. So I would really just encourage you guys to check that out and just see what Awakening Europe is doing all over Europe. It's amazing. I'm going to invite Tove up. She's going to talk about unequipping, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I think I am. Thank you.
You can come on Uniquipping with me in Happenden. How many of you have been to a Uniquip? Oh, you sinners. All right. So, this is my seat, isn't it? Okay. So, Uniquip is about receiving impartation and understanding of the YWAM. Yeah? It's like I'm not allowed to say this, but it's kind of a DNA for the University of the Nations. Don't quote me on that. But it is. Oh, it's live streaming. I'm sorry. It is. So some of us, maybe, we have a hard time to really get the whole thing about University of the Nations. And then some people get saved, meaning like Carl, he really got it a few years ago. And there's, so other people can come to this event and repent and fully embrace it because it was a call of God to us. It was a gift to be part of discipling the nations. That was why we got this. It's a multiplier for missions. So it's about receiving impartation, and it's about connecting with fellow workers. So we are inviting representatives from all different colleges. So that means if you go and you have a school or something in your stomach you just want to give birth to, there'll be some birth attendants there, from the different colleges to help you put stuff together and make it happen. So it's a kind of a dream zone, and it's equipping for multiplication and excellency in schools. So it's also a place we will have some modules. So there'll be equipping modules to help you run better schools, run your schools, more like you're meant to go. And it's a very, very dynamic week. So you may think, you'll have to come and listen to a lot of teaching. Yeah, there'll be some of that. But it's truly impartation, amazing worship, and people being healed and, getting rid of their educational wounding, and there's just no end to what happens at these events. So please come and join us. The next one is in Harpenden from the 2nd to the 6th of June. So Carl, he'll be a co-host there together with his wife, and we will have a whole team with us. And on the 7th of June, we are going to have a strategy meeting because we like to strategize across Europe. So that's both with college leaders, deans, but some of you bigger bases and campuses, and those that have a campus in your stomach. Come and dream with us because we want to create a network across Europe to really also work closer together. So now it's possible you can set up an AA just for your location, or maybe you think, we can't just do it alone, but we can do it together with another location. So we are going to dream together. We are going to look at, be visionary together. We are going to be equipping together, uni-equipping together. So put it in your calendar, please. Now you see, my email is up there. So I receive love letters and encouragement and other things. But if you would like to be a part of this European UVN network, you're not committing to any amount of hours a week or any of that. It's just to be a part of a network. So we want to build this network across Europe. And if you'd like to be a part of this, both the mailing list so you can be in on it, then email me. Or just encouragement and nice words, nice prophetic words and stuff. Anything else, Carl? That's okay. That's it. Huh? But come.
Okay. So if you need to repent, you heard, Unequip is for you. So I want to invite Frank now to speak about the discipleship program.
So, and I need my friend Harald from Vienna for that. Harald, what's going on in Vienna? Vienna is shaking Europe in a very special way. What are you up to?
So in Austria, we have a lot of Catholics, and we also have in Austria a guy that the older ones, they know him. His name is Bruce Cloyd, and he was one of the first YWAMers there were in the world. So he came to Europe 17 years of age. And he pioneered YWAM in Austria, and then he started to work with Catholics. And he didn't want to, because he thought Catholics are not real Christians. So, and then he started to work with Catholics because God told him so. And now we're running this discipleship course for Catholic youth. And it's a weekend course, it's like a mini DTS over 8 weekends. And it's exploding. It's crazy. They had in the first 4 years, I think about probably 500 young people running through the course. And it's going to Germany now. They will have it in Hurlach. And the course in Germany already filled up before they even advertised it. So it's like, it's going wild. And you can come to Vienna in March for a discipleship conference that we will do with the Catholic Church and with some renewal movements and with spirit-filled Catholics. And you can have a look at those people and what we do and get to know the course concept. And I think this is something that we should embrace as YWAM as well. I don't know if we are so good like with offering courses for people that can't commit like for half a year and do like weekend courses. And we can have all these materials from the course from Bruce. He said, yeah, use whatever you want. And the whole concept. So come up to me if you're interested and come to the conference if you're interested. Frank will also be there. And where is our friend from Milano? Luigi will send his wife actually. That's pretty cool. So yeah, come to Vienna, come up to me, and we can discuss how we implement that into YWAM. This discipleship course for young people, they're not DTS, but that are kind of a bit smaller. But I think there's a really great potential in there, and we should embrace it. And also, we as YWAM, I think we need to be much better in embracing the old churches, like the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church. So I think there's a lot of things in there that we actually miss when we don't do that. So yeah, let's come up to me and we can talk about it. Frank knows about it as well, so you can come up to him as well. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Harald. We already have 3-4 different cities in Germany that are asking for this course. We have several nations asking Bruce, we want to do it as well. His heart is really, this is really modeled after a DTS. We already have the Lutheran Church asking, can you do something like this for us? So these big state churches, they're a bit a giant. We feel God is doing something. And this could be an amazing field that God is opening up for us. If you want to get in on it, you need to get in contact with Harald or Bruce or me and get really taste it, what it is. Because people that lead these courses really need to experience it. It's like DTS, yeah, for the people. And so we're really excited to see, and a bit like, whoa, God, what are you opening up there for us? And how do we deal with this? So if you want to, come on board.
Thanks, man. Okay, we are coming to the close of the evening. That means you can go out to the cafes and kebab shops and continue to network. I would really like to finish on a kind of prophetic prayer moment. You still got a bit of energy to prophesy over people just for like a few minutes? We all right with that? What I'm aware of is that, just a quickie, we have the wonderful Jim Orrid, who has joined us at the back. Jim, wave. Just wanted to welcome Jim. Jim's come to just join us till tomorrow. Jim's a great hero of mine, and connect with him. He's been around a long time. I've got great stories, real encourager. And when I'm thinking about that, if you joined YWAM in the 1960s, did anyone here join YWAM in the 1960s? Can you just stand if you joined in the 1960s? It's really important that you know who these people are, and some of them have been on the stage. As younger leaders, when I was younger, I would grab people like that and say, just tell me stories. Because it's a DNA moment to just hear from them. How did things start, and what did you learn, and how did God shape kind of your journey? But don't miss the opportunity. Who joined YWAM in the 1970s? 1970s, stand, please. Jim, when did you join? 72. So you see a few more 70s. Anyone in the 1980s? Okay, do you see that, guys? All right? That's over 30 years. All of these people, 30, 40 years of being in the mission. Grab them. Say, can I buy you coffee? Can I pick your brains? Or other fluid things. That's how to make friends with me. So what I thought, there's a couple of people that I've talked to that have said to me, we've just planted a new base or a new team in a nation. Or we're about to start one. And I just thought it would be really cool as the close evening to just pray over new teams and new plants. Is that okay? Are we up for that? Just really briefly. So if you have planted a team or a base, whatever language you want to use, at an operating location in the last 2 years, could you stand for me, please? Okay. In the last 2 years, if you're at the back, come down a little bit so we can see who you are. If you've planted a new team in the last 2 years, I don't mean if you've bought a building, I mean if you've moved as a group of YWAMers to start something new. If you're about to start something new, you're about to plant a new team in the next year or so, could you stand as well, please? Ooh, let's look. Ooh. I'm just going to go round really quickly, and I'd just like you to say your name and where you're about to plant, okay? And then in a minute, we're going to pray for these guys. Is that all right?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Matthew, and we're planting a team in Enniskillen, Northern Ireland.
Enniskillen in Northern Ireland. Great, thank you.
Benjamin, and we want to plant in a wine base in Timișoara, West Romania.
Okay, Timișoara in Western Romania. Okay. Dick, can you run for me and do that?
I think I can. Marcel.
Yes, my name is Marcel. We're planting a base at this moment in Nazaré in Portugal.
My name is Suzanne and we're planting in YWAM Trentino, Italy.
My name is Martin. We're planting base in YWAM, French-speaking part of YWAM, Belgium.
My name is Andrea, Ljubljana, Slovenia.
Great place. I see some Frisians.
Yeah, my name is Fede, and we were aiming for a base, but we start with a team amongst a small Frisian people group.
Friesland is in the north of the Netherlands, a province. All righty. Get my workout.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm also part of the Enniskillen team starting in Northern Ireland.
Andrew.
And Bronwyn.
We're in Užice, Serbia.
Yes. My name is Del. I'm a Brazilian. My wife is Belgium. We are in Belgium. And we're praying for Ghent in Belgium.
My name is Heli Jaakkola, and I'm gonna have a base in Spain, Mallorca.
Okay, there are a few upstairs. Oh, there's more here. Caleb.
I'm Caleb, and we're going to start a new team in Berlin. Rosie, and we planted a new location in YWAM Škoder, north of Albania.
My name is Beto, and we are pioneering in Helsinki, Finland.
I'm Leo. I'm from Brazil, but we started a team, a new base, Granada, Spain.
My name's Lucy, and I'm pioneering a base in a place called Thanet on the east coast of England. Thanet, Moorgate.
Okay, was that it? How many was that? Did anyone count? Can someone quickly count for me? Put your hands up again. Oh, actually, you're standing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You won. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 new teams. That's pretty cool. All right? Isn't that exciting? That's so that's again another dimension of when we gather to just champion that. So I'm going to do something a little bit weird. Okay? And are you familiar with the concept of blue sky thinking? Is that, I don't know whether that's an English concept. So we would say, and it is English because like we don't see the blue sky very often, all right? So when the blue sky comes out, anything is possible, all right? It represents hope. It represents free thinking. It represents creativity. It means there are no obstacles. There's nothing in your way and there's nothing that you cannot do. Blue sky thinking, okay? So I would like to prophesy over you that the Lord would give you that apostolic blue sky thinking on your mind. That as you go into these places, nothing would be too impossible for you with Jesus. There'd be no clouds, there's nothing. It's that kind of that hope of the blue sky. And it's a very English metaphor, isn't it? But I want to kind of pray that over you and get people to pray around you, that as you go into these locations, you wouldn't see impossible situations. You'd see the kingdom of God. You'd see beauty where there is ashes. You'd see life where there is death, light where there is darkness. Does that make sense? And what I want to invite you to do, I'm gonna paint on my forehead, okay? And so if you're okay with it, you'll have to look at me and say, no, don't do that. I'm going to come around and paint on your forehead that the Lord would give you a blue sky mind, that you would look at the reality around you, that you look at, it will wash off, it's water-based. Just shake your head if you don't want me to do it to you. We want to prophesy, and I want you to join me, guys, and then we're going to and then the meeting's finished. I want you to lay hands on them and pray that they would be full of hope, that they would be full of apostolic zeal, that anything is possible with Jesus. Does that make sense? That they go into these places, and we, YWAM, as we see possibility. Huh? What? Freedom. Freedom. Oh, no, yeah, no, I'm not doing a Braveheart. Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I've realized this in pioneering. We see things differently. In the apostolic mind, thank you. You guys are so great. With apostolic thinking, apostolic eyes, it's Jesus-centered, but we see life. Where there is ashes, where there is destruction, where there is mourning, where there is death, we see beauty, we see possibility, and anything's possible. We don't need money, we just need the word of the Lord. Okay? So we want to prophesy that. I'm not just going to walk around dabbing you with blue paint. And I want you to remember this moment as you go into new things. Anything is possible with Jesus. Blue sky thinking. Remember the English. Remember the sun comes out and anything is possible. And hope is coming. Is that cool? So when you stand up where you are, I'm just going to come around. Start prophesying over these guys. Speaking life. That they would have new eyes to see. And they would birth the new. That they would build up the ancient ruins. New things would come. if anyone else would like blue sky paint on their forehead, because that's something that you want to move more into, come see me and I'll paint you. Okay? So if there's anyone else, stick your hand up. You don't have to be starting a new team to start thinking with blue sky.
We come in all sizes and shapes. We come in every beautiful skin color that God ever made. We've been able to prove that nationalities and various generations can work together.
In this diverse global mission, how can we best tell our stories to inspire more to go into all the world?
Glimpse of heaven, 100 countries, people, 70 different spoken languages working together.
We are the true United Nations.
చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉన్నాను.
Unifying.
굉장히 흥미롭습니다. Unglaublich.
Kalongaka.
Maitabasa.
With many tribes and tongues, but one united voice, we join together to tell honest stories of hope and unveil God's endless love. YWAM TV.